Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I just wanted to share with you how I create or plan my classes for Outschool. So I kind of just wrote out an outline of what all of my classes look like. And I just want to share with y'all real quick that I kind of base how I do everything off of a method called the PPP method, which I learned when I was taking a TEFL class to teach English as a second language online. And this method, PPP, is presentation, practice, and production. And I don't do everything like that method says to do it or whatever. I just kind of base what I do off of it. It's similar but different, if that makes sense. If y'all are interested in that method, just look it up. I think it's called the PPP method, if y'all are interested in looking at that. So like I said, I just kind of wrote out an outline of what my classes look like. And so usually at the beginning of my class, I have something like a lead-in activity or a game is what the lead-in usually is. The lead-in, and it'll be an activity or a game. Now, if we have something to review, and depending on what the topic is, or if it's a class that has multiple lessons or whatever, and you want to review what you did yesterday or last week or whatever, I usually incorporate review into the lead-in. And so if you have something like I said that you want to review what you did last week, yesterday, whatever, or if you have something like you're doing a lesson on adjectives and you want to review nouns to make sure everybody remembers, I usually incorporate that kind of stuff into the lead-in part of the lesson. And so after the lead-in, which is a game or activity, something that you can easily transition into your lesson is what you want to do. Like, I have a lesson, like if I did a lesson on nouns, and I don't want to exactly just go straight into nouns. Let's say we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a game called categories or whatever. Basically, you pick a category, and then I don't remember all the details. You have to name a certain amount of things that fits into that category from a certain letter or something like that. And so you could pick something like animals or something like that. And then you can somehow transition easily into your presentation part is what we call it. I still use presentation, and that is just where you basically present whatever the topic is of your lesson. So whether it's through a slideshow that you create, and there's a lot of places you can do slideshows for online, like Canva, Microsoft, PowerPoint, all that. Yeah, there's lots of options. Or, sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry about my dog. They've just been crazy this morning, barking and stuff, and this is like the 8th time I've had to redo this, so I'm just paused it and dealt with it, okay? Sorry. I'm not redoing it again. Okay, we're going through this. We were on presentation, so that's usually where it's a slideshow or video or song. Basically, when you're the start of when you're presenting your topic. So you can do slideshow, video, song. You could have all of that. Or you could just talk about it. But for me, I like to have something that's like visual too. So even if you're just talking, have some visuals to go along with your presentation or whatever. And then after the presentation, which I try not to make it so long. So depending on how long the class is, under 10 minutes usually is what I try to, like under 10 minutes. But then sometimes when I have a shorter class, like only 30-minute class, I'll do even less time, like not even 10 minutes, like 5 minutes. Something just real short, because I like to have a lot of time for the next part, which is the practice. And that is just activities, games, worksheets, all that kind of stuff fits into my practice, which will be usually, depending on how long the class is, I'll usually have, like if it's one of my 45-minute classes, usually I'll have maybe one worksheet, or some of them I don't even use a worksheet in, and then I'll have from like 3 to 5 activities, and then maybe like 2 to 3 games. And usually I try to space them out so that the games are kind of spaced out, not just one right after the other, so that we'll do like an activity or 2 activities, and then we'll do a game, and then maybe another activity or 2, and then another game. Kind of space it out so it's just so that, you know, it's spaced out and it's not all the games right next to each other and all the activities that may be a little bit more work oriented, if that's the right way to say that. Just so it's kind of spaced out so that you don't feel like you crowd everything at once. So that's how I kind of plan out. Start with the lead in, and then the presentation part, slideshows, basically the presenting part, and then the practice where the kids get to practice what they've learned through activities, games, and worksheets. And then if there's that, usually for me there's not. I'm usually having to cut out an activity or a game or 2 because I usually end up planning too much, and that's just how it goes for me usually. Usually there's not extra time, but if there's extra time, I usually do plan like a review of whatever you've learned. But normally I don't ever have time to actually get to the review. Usually I'm already cutting out an activity or 2, like I said. So that's just another idea if your lessons aren't like mine and they tend to go a little bit faster. I usually end up planning a little bit too much. So like I said, don't have time for the review. But thanks for watching. Hope this helped you out if you were trying to figure out maybe how to plan a class. So thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe.